Hey everyone, it's Desiree. Welcome to our final video in our series featuring the Paper Rose Candy Kisses paper collections. Now remember, we used the Candy Kisses 12 by 12 and 6 by 6. We also used the Candy Kisses Basics collection, which are great backgrounds that coordinate with the main collection, both in 12 by 12 and 6 by 6. And then we pulled in solid cardstock from our stash, chipboard for our album. We also used a couple or a few Paper Rose dies to create our flowers here for the front. And we also used the pop-out die cuts, Washi's, chipboard, and cardstock stickers with that collection as well. I do encourage you to check out their website. It will be linked down below to see this whole beautiful collection in its glory. And they have updated it, which is absolutely makes it even better. But for this video, we are going to do the final flip through, and I'm going to walk through some things that I did off camera because I never do stop embellishing our albums when it comes to this type of a project. There's always more to do, little tiny tweaks, and then finally we just have to get ourselves to the point where we say, okay, stop. But do we ever say that? No, we don't. So let's get started. This album here measures 8 by 8 and it has a 3.5 inch spine with this album. So it is definitely a chunky one. But remember, we used a hinge system. So this is not a journal. I do call these scrapbook albums. Here you can see our cover. There is our spine. And then finally, our backdrop, or our back panel. And down here, I will have my, my branding that always goes here. We will be naming this album, and this album is going to be called, not sure yet, actually. Have to come up with that. So I think by the end, you're definitely going to see that. Surprise! So let's start from the front. From the front, you can see that we have our backdrop of papers. We created 3 mats coming off of our main panel, and I took a corner of one of the panels that had all of the roses, and I added the film strip and then propped up these pieces here and added flowers, floral arrangements through using our dies with Paper Rose. These are the poinsettias. These here are the gum, and then there was a foliage set that I used for the brown twigs. What I also did to the poinsettias, we don't have to go crazy with our flowers. We can just give minimal shape like I had shown in a previous video. And then I came in with some acrylic markers and a white jelly roll and just added some details to the flowers to make them stand out. I also, along the edge, added some stickles to give them just a little bit of glitterness because we can't have enough of that. For our spine, I used one of the chipboard stickers that simply says Rose's Flower Stand, Open Daily. And again, created a mat system with the cardstock as the base. When we come around to the back, I used one of the cardstock stickers from that set, another smaller film strip that was in the chipboard sticker set, again propping up that center with some double-sided foam squares, and I used one of the tags from the chipboard and added a tassel. For those of you that know me, you love that I do like to have things just popping out, whether it's on the back, the spine, throughout the book, and even on the side. Ribbons and tassels just add that little bit of touch for me when it comes to our albums or journals. Again, using a piece of the pattern paper to have the roses down here, and then adding 3 mats along that. And these are the colors that go throughout our album. The closure that I've created for this is the double ribbon. So it just ties into a bow, and the ribbon is secured all underneath our cardstock panels. When we open up our album, the spine will go flat, and we have 4 flip panels inside of our album. So let's look at our sides first. Here we have a tag that can be journaled on the other side. You can add a small photo. You can even journal on this. This is actually acting as our closure. This is just a panel. I stapled a piece of ribbon to the top of that. And again, just have a solid piece of cardstock matted where you can add your photos. You can also add your photos down below. I also have in this pocket a large journaling card that you can put photos on, and a tag also. Remember, I said this is actually our closure, because by that sitting in that pocket, this flip stays down. When we take it up, we have this piece that flips up, and up here we have a tuck that is holding a tag, and then we have our decoration here. So you can actually journal on this. This is not a tuck. This is glued down, secured, but you can do some fun journaling, and you can also put a photo here if you like. Coming down, we have a journaling card in here as well, and we have a nice pocket. So we can hide our pieces back here securely. We can flip that down, and then we can put our panel in place, and it's got that beautiful decoration, and then we can just set our tag there for interest. For side number 1, we created this twine closure, and when it opens up, we've got 2 small pockets here with just some small pieces of our pattern paper that can be journaled on. They can create tags, and the recipient can use these as any way that they would want throughout their journal. Again, we can even write where the solid cardstock is as well. Can have a lot of fun. This piece flips up, and I'm going to hold on to this tag because here we have, it's like a tuck, but it is a pocket that can hold our pieces. You can put a photo there, a journal note, whatever you're looking for. Here we have a big spot for a photo that you can add. And then here, this comes folding out. I'm going to move that up so that we can see this. So it is an accordion. Again, photo, photo. And then here we have another tuck. And here we have another tuck as well. And let me pull down so that you can see that. And then I just added some of the washi hearts. You can see that when these are open a certain way, you can see the 3 panels for photos that you're tucking in. And then when we flip them down the other way, we now have our 3 spots here. So kind of looked at that a little bit. And then this can close up, and then we can put our closure back in place. I used twine for our closure, and we just string that along. And then I used just some of the pattern paper for a dangle that comes off of that, and that beautiful set scenery when it comes to the pattern paper. Every one of our flips comes with a large pull-out pocket. So here we have this beautiful scene. We can put a photo, we can journal, we can put a photo, or we can journal on this as well. So those are those openings that we were always making sure that we knew where they were. For side 2, again, I have a tag. Here is another panel that is acting as a closure. Again, photo and journal, added some ribbon with a staple. Here, beautiful bug, had to showcase the bug. And then we have our flip up here. And again, this is a tuck spot for whatever you're looking for. And then we have 2 pockets here. Okay, so we've got a pocket and a pocket. Whatever it is you are looking for when it comes to that. So you can have all kinds of fun tucking a lot of pieces into your journal. So when we close this down, we can put our panel in, and it hides and gives a nice surprise to that cute little beetle. Here we have another panel closure with a cute little scenery of the, I'm going to call it the cafe. And again, we have a piece here that can act as a tuck to hold a photo or make it a journaling spot. We have a piece here on the flip that I secured down completely. And we did that because there is a magnet. So there's a magnet here and a magnet here to push that down. So I like to know where the magnets are, or let you all know where they are. So here we have a flip up with a beautiful scenery and journal photo. We have this flip that can hide some photos in there, or you can put a photo here and journal, or put your photo here and write your story there. Here is a pocket that can hold some items, and then this flips down and we have another flip that's underneath. And again, we can put a photo here, here, and we can journal our story there. So we have these 2 pieces that come down, and again, we can put our tags in there. You can also set them here if you would like, however you would want to do that. And then we can set our panel in place, and you can hear that click. Once again, we've got another of our large boards coming out, and these are the 6x6 patterns that I'm using from the collection. So we get those beautiful scenes, just a little bit smaller, and a large journaling space or another spot for a photo. So you can see lots of room for photos throughout the journal. For side 4, yes, we have a tie, and I just love the way that it looks. But once we have it untied, we can journal in these areas here. We can journal in this section. These doors open, and just as we had in our previous, we have these in place as well. I did keep these open, so they are tucks that we can put items in there just to hold, so a little bit different with our decorations. And then of course we have our 4 pockets. This is a double accordion, so let's look at the top. So if I take this and flip this, we have these 2 spots, a photo or journal. Add our photos. You could always add your photo too to these large areas down here. And then when I flip this down, same as before, these are strips that are tucks that will hold anything that you would want. And again, you can journal. I think this would be really fun to journal throughout with a white jelly roll on the dark red or even the blues. So here again, we have those tuck strips. And then once we pull this out, we have our pattern papers here also. And then here we have these two cute chairs, and we can place our photo there for decoration. So they close up, and then we just take our time to restring our tied closure. I do like the tie closures. I think they add a lot of interest to the journal. Yes, they do take time to close them up, but maybe this is an area that the recipient is going to put, you know, private photos or secrets or surprises into their journal. I just pull down and then we can tie this into a bow, and I'm sure the recipient will tie a bow so much better than I do. I do not tie bows well. And then tie it tight, and then we have that. For our side 5, we have this long area here that we can have fun putting a photo and journal. So this flips up. There is a magnet. You can hear that click. And when that comes up, we have all of these decorations in the top flip. So we have a tuck that runs along, and then we also have this as well. Now I think this is completely, yes. So your tuck, have to remind myself. So your tuck goes from here all the way down on that piece. Here we have this embellishment. And we have our 2 tags just sitting here. It's not a pocket. It's a flip that does come down. This is also a belly band. So if you have something that's a little thicker, you could use that as well. And then in here, we just have all kinds of goodies. This is a double pocket. So we have our larger journaling cards sitting up at the top. And then we have a larger tag. Can have any size that you want. I have a smaller journaling card, and we have some tags that can pop out of there as well. So because we set those there and we let this come down, they are secured in that section as well. Our third journaling card, again, is using a piece of the 6x6 paper, and then also the large journaling areas as well. You can put more things in these side pockets also. For side 6, we've created a sideways waterfall. So here we can pull that out. This is decoration down here. And then we can set our photos and our journaling spots. You can add paper on top of this, but each one has the tuck strip to add anything that you would like to add. And then finally, the base of the page as well. You can add something here and have it hidden behind your waterfall. This does also have a magnet as well. Here on side 7, we created some spinning elements. So if we just lift that a little bit, this will spin out. This one as well. You can spin it out. So you're going to spin down to the center. It will get caught on here. You just got to lift it up just a little bit. And then when we bring it up, this piece here is your stopper. And then we can bring this one up as well. Our top ones, we can do the same thing. We're going to spin them towards the center, lifting up just a little bit, swinging out, and again, some hidden areas for our journaling. And that is done through our brads. Again, we have our large pocket with our scene, and then again, our journaling in the back, or adding more photos, whichever you would prefer. And then for our final side, side 8, we have, these are also by magnet. We have our 2 top that flip out, and again, with those, what I like to call as tuck strips. And then we have these 2 that go to the top and the bottom, and just decorated those with the washi tickets that look really cute. And then we have this here, it's a pocket, and we have a pocket here that again just add to the illusion when we close that. And finally, within our back cover, we have our waterfall. This is also closed with a magnet. We've decorated the top strip with a tag. You can journal within that. That's just black cardstock. And then we also decorated it, and these are with the cardboard stickers. And this will flip down as well. And then we have each of our panels where you can add photos and of course journal. I know you keep hearing me say that. And then these will flip down, so that'll come up, and then that will secure our pieces in place so that they don't flop around. For me, that is key when it comes to a journal, is to make sure that the only things that are flapping are these pages here. That is what you want to make sure is the only thing that's doing that. Everything else is either has ribbon tying it down, or a panel holding it down, or a magnet, or any other means of a closure that you can create yourselves. Once we're done, we can close this up, and then we just tie our double ribbon once again. And then through the magic of filming, the name of our journal, or our scrapbook album, is Paper Candy. So I always like to name my journals, or in this case, my scrapbook albums, because they are wonderful creations. They're going to live, they're going to breathe through yourself or the recipient that you give it to, because they're going to add to it. Yes, that's my kitty cat in the background. Because they're going to add to it, and this is going to grow. So, for that reason, I always feel that a journal or a scrapbook album has a name. Each one is unique, and I never duplicate the names. And the name comes from either why I'm designing it, who I'm giving it to, the collection in which I use. I never use the direct names. So in this case, I chose Paper Candy, and I think you know why. So I do hope that you enjoyed this. I hope you followed along. We are going to figure out how I can see all of your beautiful creations. Look down in the description for a Facebook group or something that we can share all of our wonderful art that we have created. All the products that were used throughout this tutorial will be listed down below in the video description. And if you have any questions, please make sure you leave those down below as well. And someone will get back to you as soon as we can. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that thumbs up, and please, most of all, make sure you ring the bell so that you'll know when the next video is ready for you to watch and sit back to enjoy. But most of all, enjoy the process. Enjoy the art that you create. Have fun using all the materials that you have to create your art. Don't get stressed and don't get frustrated. But most of all, always be creative in everything you do and every day. Until the next video, continue to stay healthy, continue to stay safe, and I will talk to you then. Take care.